Today's poems are all about slicing together parts of me for you. Perhaps it can help you understand why I am the way I am, and just maybe give you better insight into you and how you became who you are too. Because, listen, we're all a lot more similar than we ever can imagine being different. I believe when you can wrap your arms around this concept, we can then recalibrate a part of ourselves and a part of our lives and those who we interact with, and maybe be able to chart a better course, a course that we want to travel on. So this first poem's about a love I have. I have been lucky enough to make money with the passion, although that's not where life's brought me to now, but it could go back there someday. This poem's entitled, My Act of Love. Love can come with hearts and candy. It can lead to pain and despair. This pathway's beaten. May I present another construct? Love can come with pots and pans, burnt and sliced fingers. Amour in the form of sauces, proteins, and desserts. Cooking is an expression of love for me. I'm crowned seeing others enjoying what I've created. Maybe that's why I made this poem available to you. Feeding someone triggers a positive response in me. It also offers unfettered insight. What you choose to eat says a lot about you. Are you daring or demure? Do you order something different every day, or do you stick with the tried and true? Once you've found something you like. These are observations, not judgment. Like what you like. I'm here to serve you. Bon appetit. Do you relate to that poem and my feelings about making and serving and hopefully watching someone enjoy something that I've created? At the end of the day, at least for me, that's the passion of cooking and why I enjoy it. And speaking of passion, you might have noticed that I'm passionate about this, my poetry. I really enjoy sharing it with you. Thank you for being here. And I'm creating more content, including a book soon to come out. And I want to share that with you. I want to give you a massive discount, and I want to share some special content with you as well. So right now, down in the comments, put poems, and I'll share with you how to get everything I'm talking about now and more for free. My next poem's about a specific time during my early childhood. That time you spend experimenting, trying things, and spreading your wings, even if that means sometimes crash landing. This poem's entitled Nurturing. My childhood entailed loads of foraging, wandering woods, abandoned buildings and dumps, turning things over, opening the forgotten, reimagining the discarded, and ongoing exploration, searching for my treasures. Spiders were a common find, most often ignored except on this one day. Finding a web with an egg sac, I decided to become involved, overcome by a novel and powerful demand to ensure their journey is complete, so into a jar it went. Adults scoffed at me. They're going to die, they said. Why would you bother to do that? They asked through judgment-filled eyes. I met these comments with advantageous defiance. I don't know why I did this, but I was compelled. And soon they were all wrong. The eggs hatched. The jar filled with hundreds of baby spiders. Now what? Freedom. I carefully let them loose, choosing the places I thought they would thrive. I had done my job. I made a difference. Me, a kid. I had value. I was proud. I didn't give a second thought to my doubters. Well, maybe a little. But the lesson learned was priceless. I found purpose and influence in the biggest of things. Putting your heart in front can be rewarding. When something becomes bigger than you grow as well. Have you experienced anything like that? I mean, did you enjoy that poem? That poem's about a time and place that for me was really unique. And in some ways, I even knew it at the time. I knew I wasn't going to be the new Spider-Man, but I felt a strong compulsion to see that out, to be their protector and a guardian through their birth. So I did it. Maybe it was a precursor to some of the roles I played as an adult. This next poem's about how I deal with something that's been a constant challenge in my life. I will tell you, I have become so much better at controlling this, so much better at modulating it and being better and being a happier person. So I'm anxious to share this poem with you, especially if you might struggle in some of these areas. Maybe some or a lot of this you could even relate to. As you may have noticed, I like to be very direct in my poems and the titles. So this poem is appropriately entitled Erupting. Volcanoes are supposed to erupt. I should have been named Vesuvius. Constantly angry. The only variance? The timing. Indiscriminately spraying rage, what an ugly figure my shadow cast. Repugnant, selfish, and petulant. Like a baby pulled from its meal, I knew how to use anger to get what I wanted. Handy for both offense and defense. So those around me needed to learn fast. But I discovered I was treading upon a misguided path. I moved from a position of control to being a prisoner, locked away from joy. Isolated with my own madness, a sad soul existing for an undefinable reason. Crying like the wind, an empty cup, wistful for a drop. So I asked myself, if the road I'm on leads me to where I don't want to go, what can I do? I turned and put my face against the facts. My life mirrored the old man with the guitar, and I was playing a tune no one enjoyed, even me. So I moved on by settling that debt. I carroted that pelt. The result? A final sniff of peace for me and those around me, discovering quiet for the first time. I hope that poem resonates with you in some way, shape, or form. Not that I hope that you struggle with dealing with anger, but it's a universal emotion. We've got to be honest. And whether you've learned how to deal with it, or if you've mastered it, or you have no way to deal with it, this poem addresses one of those big hurdles that we as humans face. Perhaps that's why I address it and look at it so often, but as a main topic or sometimes even as a subplot within many of my poems. Speaking of other poems, I want to share these poems with you now. Let's continue looking at this crazy thing we call life through one guy's poems. I'll see you over there right now.